The calls to remove the Mississippi state flag are growing louder and louder each day. They include politicians, businesses, and notable figures across the state. I'm joined now by Bobby Harrison from Mississippi Today, here to speak a little bit more about it. Thank you so much, Bobby, for joining me.
Oh, happy to be here.
Well, Bobby, give us your perspective on what's going on at the Capitol.
Well, this is just kind of the issue. When it came up a few weeks ago, the story broke that behind the scenes there was some talk about changing the flag. I thought at that time, boy, it would take a 2/3 majority in both chambers at this point to change the state flag. And it's hard to get 2/3 of the legislators to agree on anything. But we covered it for a while, and I've thought 3 or 4 different times that this issue was dead for this session, that they just didn't have the votes. But the legislative leadership keeps on trying, and it appears the momentum just continues to grow for changing the state flag. I don't know if they're going to get it done this session. The session is nearing a close, but they're working hard on it behind the scenes. You don't see much going on in front of the scenes, but as you said, there's so many business groups, sports associations, just different groups coming out in support of a change of the state flag. The momentum is really there to do it right now. So we just have to see what happens in the coming days before the session ends.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, like we talked about, that pressure is mounting. Do you think those Mississippi presidents are having an impact after speaking to them today?
The university presidents, yes, sure. I mean, they've been vocal. Business groups have been vocal. There was a poll that came out today, first time ever, I guess, that there was a poll came out that showed the majority of Mississippians are in favor of changing the state flag. Now that's one poll, but it shapes, it kind of aligns with the previous poll done a few weeks ago, where it was almost a tie. So it seems to me that there's this issue has been around for literally 3 decades. And it seems to me that we're closer than ever than having that Confederate battle emblem removed from the state flag, which it would be a real big deal if that does occur.
Mm-hmm. And Friday, I mean, they have to make a decision. I mean, what does this all look like?
Well, at this point in time, I mean, you say Friday, and that's under the presumption that the session is going to end on Friday. I'm not so sure it's going to end on Friday. I think it may go into next week. And this is an issue that can be brought up anytime the legislature is in session. But as I said, it would take a 2/3 majority in both chambers to suspend the rules. And that's, as I said, a 2/3 majority is tough to get. But the word out on this, sort of in the Capitol is that in the House and the Senate, they're getting close to having those 2/3 majorities to suspend the rules, and they would take up a bill to change the state flag. And the goal of the House and Senate leadership is to change that state flag by a vote of the legislature, and not go to a vote of the people to occur, but just for the legislators to do it. Because if it's done by a vote of the people, there'll be a lot of uncertainty about what will actually happen, and there'll be a lot of national attention played on Mississippi, and and you have groups on both sides creating a sort of what could be viewed as a sort of a toxic environment around that flag vote. So the goal of legislative leadership is to do it without a vote of the people, just do it by the legislature. Now, of course, Governor Tate Reeves still insists that there be a vote of the people to change the flag. So we just have to see if they do pass that bill to change the state flag, whether Reeves would veto that bill or let it become or sign it into law, since he has repeatedly said that he wants there to be a vote of the people on this issue.
Okay, so we just got to wait and see what happens here. Thank you, Bobby, for your perspective. And remember, you can always find this interview and see more statements and information regarding cause to remove the state flag by going to our website, WJTV.com.